Hello, everyone. Ryan Embry here with the Sweet Spot, live on location at the Hunter Conference 2026 in Atlanta, Georgia, here with Paul Sacco, Chief Growth and Development Officer at PM Hotel Group. Paul, thank you for taking some time.
Thanks for having me.
Excited to talk about this. We're at the new venue. You visited the Hunter Conference before. Yes. How does this compare, and what does success really look like for you when you leave Atlanta here?
Yeah. I think it's been a great conference. Perhaps a little hiccup with some of the weather and people getting in, but I think Teague and Lee and the team at Hunter have done a great job really producing a terrific conference, and it's really well attended now. So we've had a great experience so far. In terms of what does a good conference look like, to me it's all about connections. So it's all about making sure that when you come to a conference like this, sure, you have meetings scheduled for deal advancement on projects you're working on, relationship building on some of the new relationships that you're building upon, and that's structured, but also that you leave plenty of time to walk the floor, because inevitably you're running into people that you share common stories with, you're connecting with, maybe there's some things to do with, and it's just great because our business and our industry is really all about connections.
Yeah, that's where it's built. It's a big little world hospitality, run into a lot of people, and when you get a lot of hospitality people in one place, they're going to start sharing best practices and maybe some of the challenges that they're having right now, especially with margins, profits. You know, people are looking out for that edge to figure out what's next. Where do you think there's opportunity when you kind of see the landscape right now? Is it a particular region, a segment that you like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we operate in full service and toward luxury segment, as well as select service, and then independent and boutique. And we all hear a lot right now about luxury and leisure leading the way. And we hear a lot about mid-scale extended stay and extended stay generally leading the way. And we're in those categories. I also think there's really good opportunity if you're thoughtful about the possibilities, thoughtful about the deal in urban markets on core branded hotels. I think there's still some really good opportunity. You have to be thoughtful about your basis and about what the demand drivers are. But I think there's some future opportunity in the near term there. I think there will be transactions that start to happen more. We're starting to see some more PIP pressure now from the brands. We're starting to see some more lender pressure. I think the period of extend and pretend is perhaps coming to an end. Yeah. And there'll be some transactions that occur out of that. We're seeing more marketed deals as well come across. And I think that's been across segments. Fortunately for us, we're really focused in on each of those three segments as a company, and we can capitalize on the right opportunities.
And that's where those strong connections come in to make those deals move across the finish line at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Now, PM Hotel Group, you talked a little bit about it, but it's a competitive landscape out there. Where do you find opportunity to differentiate yourself from other management companies?
Sure. So it is a competitive environment for sure. We're a top 15 management company now. We do not have any particular goal or pressure to be a certain number of hotels. That's really meaningful on two fronts. One, it means we can grow smart and do deals that make sense for our company, deals that make sense for the owner in terms of using our operation, make sense for our team. And secondly, it's really important because it allows us to remain accessible to ownership at the highest levels of our company. So we always say that if there's ever a time where an owner can't call me or Joseph, our president, or others in our company and get a response that day, then we've grown too big. And that's really important to us. And since we're an independently owned company and we're not private equity owned, we're not public, we don't have any of those quarterly, quote unquote, NUG pressures to grow, we can be really thoughtful and strategic about the deals that we do and the owners with whom we're working and remain accessible to them.
Well, it puts you also an opportunity to kind of maybe be first in line when a new developer or owner wants to go a certain route. You've got kind of the story to tell them and share with them.
Yeah, we hear it a lot. In reality, we are of the size and scope that our senior team remains very accessible to ownership groups, to asset management groups, et cetera, based on the size and nature of our company. I think there are some others who can say that as well, and there's some others who are a lot larger, and it just makes it more difficult to do that as effectively.
Definitely. Now, another topic on everybody's bingo card here at conferences like this is AI and technology, right? So, what's the philosophy over at PM Hotel Group? Are you guys using anything on the development side, and how are you utilizing it?
Yeah, I think there are some really good tools within AI, even just using ChatGPT and Gemini, in order to do market research, really market assessment tools. And that's a great way to get a highlight overview of what's happening in a market. If you're looking at a new deal, if you're traveling to a market, a good way to gain sort of initial information and a feeling for what's happening in a market from a development perspective. Now, we tend to dive in deep and back all that up as we advance with some really good formats like CoStar and some others that are out there that help us really assess a deal and assess our business. So on the development front, I think that's how we're approaching things. On the operating front, I think AI will continue to evolve in a way that it helps make operations more efficient, whereby there can be data assessment on check-ins and check-outs, which can help with labor and staffing needs and assessing those types of things. And then, of course, on the commercial side, really harnessing the way that people are doing intent-based searches now, because people will go into ChatGPT or Gemini and they'll put in an intent-based search. We find a lot that our independent and boutique hotels come up in those searches, but how do you capitalize upon that? And how do you harness that in a way to turn it into reservations?
Absolutely. Everyone looking for that edge right now. Like I said, to combat those margins right now, which are challenging. So, in your position, you're always looking for the next opportunity, the next deal. What's your vision for PM Hotel Group as you grow into the back half of the 2020s?
Yeah. So again, we're a privately owned company and we grow very strategically. We're not under any certain pressure, again, to have a certain quote unquote nug. So that's been very effective for us. And we've been really thoughtful about the owners that we're doing deals with, the types of deals that we can operate effectively. Key for us is that we've done a couple of small strategic partnerships, Sightline a year or so ago, Modus by PM Hotel Group before that. And the combination of that has put us into all these different segments that we just discussed, but it's put our reach from Hawaii to California to the mountain states all the way to the East Coast with different types of products. So we can really capitalize on that and harness the fact that we have coverage and reach in a lot of different markets and market knowledge. So I think for us, it's just about growing smart. It's about putting a lot of effort behind commercial and technology. We're making a lot of investments in that space right now so that we are out ahead of AI advancement and technology advancement. And where even in a sort of muted RevPAR growth environment now, we're focused on RPI and we're focused on TrevPAR and making sure that operationally and top line wise, we're getting more than our fair share.
Awesome. Well, Paul, congratulations to you and your team. We'll continue to keep a close eye and we'll let you get back in there and for all the good stuff the Hunter Conference has to offer.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
Alrighty.